Welcome to the world of network troubleshooting. In this session, we will explore diagnostic tools and various troubleshooting methodologies used to resolve network issues efficiently. We will be covering diagnostic tools, general troubleshooting steps, and different methodologies. Let's look at some common network issues. First, connectivity issues, which can manifest as connection timeouts, intermittent connectivity, domain name system resolution failures, Internet protocol address conflicts, or a gateway becoming unreachable. Then there are performance issues like high latency, packet loss, bandwidth bottlenecks, network congestion, and slow data transfer rates. Now let's explore some essential diagnostic tools. Ping helps to test connectivity between hosts and measures round-trip time. The command to use is ping followed by the website address. Traceroute or Tracert shows the path packets take to reach a destination, and to use it, type Tracert followed by the website address. Nslookup or dig queries domain name system servers to obtain domain name or Internet protocol address mappings. To use it, type Nslookup followed by the website address. Netstat displays network connections, routing tables, and interface statistics. Use the command netstat -n. IP protocol configuration or ifconfig shows Internet protocol configuration for all network interfaces, and the command is IP protocol configuration /all. Finally, Wireshark is a network protocol analyzer that captures and inspects data packets in detail. It is a graphical user interface-based tool. Let's delve into using Ping for network diagnostics. Ping uses Internet Control Message Protocol, that is ICMP, echo request or reply packets, and measures round-trip time or RTT in milliseconds. It also reports packet loss percentage, verifies basic connectivity between hosts, and is available on all major operating systems. A basic ping command looks like this. The $ ping google.com. This would result in an output similar to this. Ping google.com, then in parenthesis its IP address, which is 142.250.190.78. This uses 56 in parenthesis 84 bytes of data. 64 bytes are received from the same IP address, that is SFO03S07-F14.1E100.net. The time taken is 15.2 milliseconds. Similarly, there are 3 more responses with slight variations in time. Now let's discuss using Traceroute or Tracert for path analysis. Traceroute maps the network path between source and destination, showing each router, also called a hop, along the route. It measures latency at each hop and identifies where packet loss occurs. Remember, on Windows it is Tracert, while on Linux or Mac it's Traceroute. Here's an example of a Windows Tracert command. At the C prompt, type Tracert google.com. The output will show the tracing route to google.com, in brackets its IP address, which is 142.250.190.78. This is over a maximum of 30 hops. The first hop is less than 1 millisecond, less than 1 millisecond, less than 1 millisecond. This is followed by the IP address 192.168.1.1. The subsequent hops show increasing milliseconds. For example, the second hop is 8 milliseconds, 7 milliseconds, 7 milliseconds, with the IP address 10.0.0.1. The fifth hop shows asterisks indicating a request timed out, and the sixth hop shows the time taken is 35 milliseconds, 36 milliseconds, 34 milliseconds, for google-edge.net. Next up, let's discuss domain name system troubleshooting tools. These tools help to verify domain name to IP address resolution, check domain name system server configurations, troubleshoot domain name system related connectivity issues, and query specific domain name system record types like A, MX, and name. We will now compare Nslookup and Dig. Both are domain name system tools. Nslookup is compatible with Windows, Linux, and Mac OS, while Dig, which provides more detailed information, is used on Linux and Mac OS. Here's how they are used. To use Nslookup, type Nslookup space google.com. The output shows the server IP address is 192.168.1, port number 53. The IP address of google.com is 142.250.190.78. To use dig, type dig space google.com. The answer section shows the IP address of google.com, which is 142.250.190.78. Let's explore packet analysis using Wireshark. Wireshark captures and analyzes network traffic in real time, providing deep packet inspection across multiple protocols. It offers color-coded packet visualization, advanced filtering options, and is used to troubleshoot complex network issues and identify malicious traffic patterns. The Wireshark interface displays a capture of traffic on Ethernet 0, showing 143 packets. The columns include number, time, source, and protocol or information. An example, packet number 138, at time 10.245 has a source IP address of 192.168.5, using domain name system standard query A for google.com. Packet 139 at time 10.302 has a source IP address of 8.8.8.8, using domain name system standard query response A to the IP address 142.250.190.78. Packet 140 at time 10.354 has a source IP address of 192.168.5, using Transmission Control Protocol 52431-443. It synchronizes sequence equals 0. Packet 141 at time 10.402 has a source IP address of 142.250.190.78, using Transmission Control Protocol 443-52431. It synchronizes acknowledgement, sequence equals 0, acknowledge equals 1. Packet 142 at time 10.405 has a source IP address of 192.168.5, using Transmission Control Protocol 52431-443. It acknowledges sequence equals 1, acknowledge equals 1. Packet 143 at time 10.456 has a source IP address of 192.168.5, using Transport Layer Security version 1.2 client hello. Now let's explore a systematic approach to troubleshooting. Step 1 is to identify the problem. Gather user reports, document the symptoms, determine the scope, whether it is local or widespread, and establish a timeline to see if it's a new or recurring issue. Step 2 involves establishing a theory. Consider common causes first, review recent changes, check for patterns, and prioritize potential causes. Step 3 is to test the theory. Use appropriate diagnostic tools, start with simple tests, isolate variables, and document the test results. Step 4 involves implementing and verifying the solution. Apply the solution, test functionality, monitor for recurrence, and document the resolution steps. Now let's explore the Open Systems Interconnection model as a method for troubleshooting, using a bottom-up approach. Starting with Layer 1, the physical layer, tools include cable testers and visual inspections. At Layer 2, the data link layer, tools include ifconfig or IP protocol configuration and switch diagnostics. Layer 3 is the network layer, where tools include ping, traceroute, and router diagnostics. Layer 4 is the transport layer with tools like netstat and port scanners. Finally, Layer 7 is the application layer with tools like Nslookup or dig and application logs. Here's how to apply this practically. Start with physical connections like cables and ports, then check link status and media access control addressing, verify Internet Protocol configuration and routing, test Transmission Control Protocol or User Datagram Protocol port availability, examine application-specific issues, document findings at each layer, and isolate the problem to a specific layer. Finally, let's look at some network troubleshooting best practices. Documentation: maintain detailed network diagrams, configurations, and change logs. Also, document all troubleshooting steps and resolutions. Next, baseline performance: Establish normal network behavior metrics to quickly identify deviations and abnormal patterns. Toolset mastery. Develop proficiency with key diagnostic tools and understand when to use each one appropriately. Systematic approach. Follow a consistent methodology, rather than random troubleshooting to efficiently isolate and resolve issues. In conclusion, effective network troubleshooting combines technical knowledge, systematic methodology, and the right diagnostic tools. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.